Welcome back to another episode of the HEMA Pandemic Livestream series. Last week we were working on a couple of techniques in grappling. One of them was a lapel grab. What do you do if somebody comes in and they grab you by the shirt and you can deal with the hand that's grabbing you and they're coming through to punch, so you can deal with the hand that's grabbing you and ignore the attacking hand, or you can ignore the hand that's grabbing you and deal with the attacking hand. Today, what we're going to work on is a double grab. So if John grabs onto me, we've got this. We see this happen all the time. One of the things that we see in movies all the time is up and out or down and out. And sure, that'll work as long as I'm strong enough. But if he's doing this and I'm coming in here, well, now I've put my defense down. I've actually potentially pulled him right into me, and then I get that headbutt. If I try to go up and I'm doing this, he may just go and lift my shirt up. Well, now I can't see anything, so now he's just going to beat me senseless, and I can't tell what he's doing because I blocked my own vision. Or the other thing that can happen with that is nothing, because his arms go out. Now, yes, from here I can go for the eyes. I have these options, but that's only if he stands there and lets me do it. I expect him to not stand there. One of the things that drives me crazy in a lot of videos and a lot of instructional tutorial videos that I see is the instructor will have his partner throw a punch. So go ahead and hit me, and then boom, good. Do it again. So now we have this. So I'm gonna hit him here, 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 take out his knee, hit him in the groin. I have yet to be in a fight where somebody just stands there and lets me beat on them like a piñata. I hope every time I get into one of these fights, I hope they'll just stand there and let me beat them like that. Unfortunately, nobody's done that for me yet. You want to?
No.
Oh, it's kind of usually the response I get. So I don't want to train like that. Now, that being said, I need to learn my actions. So let's say he throws that punch again. I set that aside, and then he recovers at that same speed. And so I move into it. Oh, yeah, great, I hit him. And then as soon as I hit him, that bounces, and now I get hit on the other side. Just because I hit him doesn't mean he's done hitting me. I need to make sure that I give myself the time and the placement so that I can hit him, and it's more difficult for him. Last week, if you'll grab on to the lapel, we are working on you're sliding up and you're taking a little step back without moving your body so you can move their body around. We're going to get into the double using that double grip using that same kind of idea. But what I want you to see right now is our training methodology. He throws that punch. I step out of the way to make my strike. That moves him out of the way. Look how much further I am away from him. So now when he does that, I come through and I hit him there. There's that arm into that arm lock, into whatever we want to get at this point. Good? Good. So when you're training these actions, make sure that you're training them legitimately, not putting yourself into a false sense of training. It's easy to do because we get into the habit of, I'm going to throw a punch at you. I'm already way too tense. It shouldn't start like that. All right, I'm going to throw a punch at you. And then I can make my strike. You know, if I'm in here and I'm just standing here, I'm going through to make this kind of strike, and I'm doing all this other stuff because he's most likely not going to do anything. If he doesn't do anything, I've got that. But if he goes up to block me, I've still got something that I can drive in and make the hit with. So I'm not tensing up before I do it, because now I'm going to punch him. He's going to have time to go get a cup of coffee, come back, defend himself, and then beat me senseless. So I need to make sure that I'm not training falsely. I'm not tense, too tense in my action. Of course I'm going to be tense because there's adrenaline going on. There's anxiety going on. There's all these things going on in my head that's affecting my body. Fear, all these different emotions that I need to deal with. So as we train, if we can switch sides. As we train, let's go just to that punch again. He throws that punch, and I step out of the side. Now, when he throws that other punch, I can cover that, and I can hit him again, and take out his knee, and then pull his eyebrows back, and do whatever I want to do to him, because I've trained for it. But then, let's do it a little bit faster. Just throw that 1-2. It still worked for me. Let's go a little bit faster. One more time. All right? What do we, oops, sorry. What do we want to do to him? Because I've trained that action, but I did not train, throw it again, just leave it. There, because he's not going to stand there and let me do that. And if he does, ask him why. Maybe he's training you because he's going to be fighting you. And he wants you to do that. Just kidding. Don't do that. So today what I want to do is go back to that lapel grab. Last week we did just the one lapel grab. Well, what if they have two hands on you? Let's move a little bit closer. Go ahead and grab on. So this is the grip that he's got in. And he's pulled his elbows in. He's got a nice tight grip. I can't break his grip with that. I mean, even if I come through here, what's to keep him from kneeing me in the groin, right? Or stepping back and pulling me down. It just leaves me in potentially a lot of bad places. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do the same technique we did last week. But this time I'm going to reach over one of his arms, and I'm going to let my arm just rest on his arm. Switch sides. So I'm just resting on his arm. This one finds, again, the arm that I'm resting on is my open side. I don't have an open side now because he has both arms grabbing me, but I'm reaching over and I'm just resting on it. Actually, I want to switch sides again. Because what I want you to see, watch this shoulder. How much pressure am I putting on you?
None, just the weight of your arm.
And just letting my arm rest on his arm actually drops that shoulder just a little bit. Yeah, don't give it to me. It's very, very small. You can see it if you look at his sleeve right here. And I'm not pulling down or anything. I find this, as I pull this in, then this elbow, I pull down. And I've got all of these actions that I can do again. So that's the action we're going to go into. We're going to go real slow so you can learn to do this and so I don't break my John. So he grabs on. Now, let's take this back to another realistic training scenario. He's not going to grab on and stand there. He's not going to be full arm locked out. He's going to be in close. And he's not just going to stand there and wait for me to do something. He's most likely going to be shaking me around because this is what he wants. He wants this intimidation, this fear. I'm going to use that to my advantage. As he's shaking me around, don't slap the ground. I'll catch you. I don't want you to hurt your hand.
It's fine.
So when we start off on this drill, we're going to do it with no extra movement at all. All I'm learning right now is where the places are so that I can do it. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So he grabs onto me, And again, I can go to either side. We didn't need to switch sides. I could have done the other side. I didn't even think about it. So I reach over. The hand that's the arm that's going across his arm is my open side. So that means that's on this arm. Oh, no, that's on my hand. So the closed side is on his arm. My open side hand is on my arm. When I step back, I pull it in tight, but my upper body doesn't move. Then as my heel goes down, I just turn to look towards that side. Then from here, my arm, which is already on his arm, goes straight forward through his chin as I just pull him down, but I'm not letting go of his hands. Switch sides.
You can tell what we've done all the time.
So he's got me in this position. I find him, I pull it in with a small step back, I rotate, and I go across his arms. Then I'm pulling his hand towards my shoulder as this hand comes up. As I'm going up his arm, you'll notice my hand is palm down. This is important. My hand is palm down until I reach his neck. Now, be strong for me. I can push into his neck. I don't want to push too much because of his trachea. Turn your head to the side. That way I don't hit your trachea. And I can't move him. Watch this. All I do is I take my thumb and I put my thumb up. You ready?
Ready?
So here I'm pushing into it force to force. His head is in a strong place. But as soon as I put my thumb up, you're not giving it to me, right? Now I'm in here, and come with me, switch. Because now we're here this way. My shoulder's slightly up because as I hit him, I rolled up. Now I just drop my shoulder down and I get this strong position. Then this is the important part. I can kick him, I can do whatever, but if I kick him, where's he gonna go? He's gonna go up. I don't want him to go up. I want him to go down. So instead, I just step between his legs. Let's move this way. You good?
Good.
I just step between his legs, right behind his lead foot. And he has no choice but to go down because I have taken out his leg with minimal effort on my part. So let's do it again right here. I'm gonna go this way this time.
All right.
So he comes across, I want the hand that's crossing his arm on top so that as I'm doing my action, this hand is pushing here. But if he's strong, which I assume he's gonna be strong, I can't push his arm down. Move this hand because I want see how his hand is up? I want his hand to be against my chest, and I can't get that. But if I put this hand on top, I can now push and pull, and it's two hands against one. Go ahead and grab one again. This hand is going across, so I can just drop his shoulder down. And you can see how that just rotates him. And that's without any footwork. And as soon as I add my footwork to it, and I'm trying really hard not to put him down hard. One of the neat things about this, I'm going to pull Bob in.
When he glances behind himself like that, I get nervous.
So, we've got him and his buddy. And his buddy's to the side of me. So he's really looking at, he's got me here, he's got his buddy there. Because I can do this to either side, I know what I'm doing. Because I can do this to either side, I can choose where I want to go. So this comes across, that pulls in, I step back. It's, it's very difficult for him to protect himself if he's stumbling over his buddy. If we have just the one grip, so go ahead and grab me with this hand. I can do the same kind of thing where I'm in here, he's got his buddy. Let's move this way a little bit. There we go. So that they can see Bob. I come across, right? Get them both. Make it a little Three Stooges action. And then, as Master Ken says, re-stomp the groin. Because why not? So here's how we deal with having two hands on us. So I'm going to do it to you. Okay. I come through, I grab. Now, you'll notice we grab each other differently. I start here. My hands aren't against his chest. And the reason I do that is because I want to pull him in and up. And this gives me that strength there. So when he does his action, he goes.
Which side, what direction
you pick? You pick.
Okay.
So as he's doing this,
there
it is. Now, come this way. Turn around. Lift up these fingers all the way. He's putting these fingers over his knuckles, so he's using his knuckles. Don't let that wrist bend. He's using these knuckles as a handle to deal with. Feel the difference on that?
Yeah.
Now, come back. Do it again, but don't drop that elbow down.
Okay.
Go ahead. Oh, you notice? Switch sides with me. What I want you guys to watch is this shoulder right here. Do it again, but don't drop that shoulder. My shoulder didn't move. Go back, do it again. Do it again. There's no movement in my shoulder. He's extending the arm, but not much else. Recover, do it again, now drop your elbow. There's where the action happens. Then, the hand that's on top goes through, follow your opponent's arm up and through his jaw.
This one here?
Yep. Thumb down.
Mm-hmm.
Then, as you rotate to face the same direction that your arm is moving, turn your thumb up. And I'll throw the whole body. Even if I'm trying to get out of the way. And that's why we're doing this with our footwork. You good? Good. So I grab on. He does that action again. He steps down. He goes through. Now I'm trying to get out of the way. So now he just steps forward. And it's his whole body against my head. There's no way I'm going to stop him from doing it. There's a good, simple way to get out of this double lapel grab. It'll work whether it's up at the shoulders or here. So if they've got like a jacket on, if you've got a jacket on or something, and they grab here, it's the same action. Go ahead and do it again. Nope. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a good thing. Come in close. I was hoping you'd do that. So go ahead and do it again. Mm-hmm. Okay, stop. Look how much movement I have in my hand. The key when you're doing this is that your elbow has to touch your ribs. You need to lock this hand in place. So go ahead and grab onto me. I'm going to go this direction. Okay. So I come across, and as I do it, go ahead and pull this hand out. You see how I'm locking it into place? If I'm here, go ahead and pull it out. Now, I have both hands on this hand, and he's got a free hand, and there's no way I can defend myself against it. So when we're doing this action, as I come across, I'm pulling it down. Look how much that's moving his body. And the other thing we want to do is keep pulling this into us so that I can really throw off his body. We see this in Fior de la Berry's manuscript, in his the beginning of his grappling section, which is the blouse pull chin push, where we are pulling one side of their body this direction while pushing their chin into the same direction. We're doing that same type of action, but now we're doing it off of their wrist and their chin instead of the back of their clothing. But it follows the same idea. So the key is to take away from this. You'll grab on. They have the grip on you. You pick the side that you want to work to. This is where you can make the tactical choice of knowing where your exit is or where his friends are. So now Bob is here. So I'm going to go to this side, and I'm going to come across, find him right by the elbow, pull up, drop that elbow down as I step back. Then I'm going to turn into his arm, and my hand goes up, palm down. Then I just go back, or if his buddy's here, I'm just going to take another step right behind his leg to throw him into his friend. A key to remember with this, I do not need, nor do I want to remain engaged with this person. The longer I stay engaged with him physically, or her, the longer their friends have to get to me. So everything in this system is about hit and move, hit and move. Don't be where you were. And don't go backwards, because first off, I don't know what's back there. Secondly, if I turn my back to go that way, I've now given him my back to leap onto. So it's important that when I'm moving, I'm always moving in the direction I'm already facing. If for some reason, go ahead and grab on again, I get turned around and I'm here, then yeah, I'll go this way, because that's now the direction I'm facing. I like to think of this as when I'm teaching tomahawk and knife, boarding axe and knife, or axe and cutlass. Imagine you're on a ship. It's 125 feet long, we'll just say. That 125-foot deck is all the solid land you have around you. You can't go that way because there's nothing but ocean. You can't go those directions because there's nothing but ocean. I need to get that way behind him so I can get to the end, so I can come back and hit them from behind. But if I stay engaged with this one person, he's going to come in. As we stated last week, even jerks have friends. So I can't afford to do it. So there's our double lapel grab. This will work up high. This will work at the lapels. This will also work if you're a lady and you have some guy just come up and grab handfuls of your breasts. Like mentioned last week on a breast grab, if this drunk guy comes up and grabs onto my breasts, well, he's not going to get any more filling than he's already got. My natural instinct is to push him away, but now maybe it's become a game to him because he likes that power. Right? A lot of these sexual attacks are not for sex. They're for power, control, fear, and pain. So if I push him away, now maybe it's become a game. And oh yeah, I can do it. And then, I can't expect anybody to come in and help me. But he comes in, he's already got it. Yeah, you like that, mister? You like that? You like that? And then I can do lots of things that I want with him and punish him for taking that handful of me. And it's my choice how badly I want to punish him. So if this is something where I've got, let's say he comes up, I'm a young lady out for a night out on the town. He comes up with his buddy. They're both drunk. His buddy's egging him on. Maybe there's even more than just the two of them. He grabs on. There's no way I can deal with all these people. And I can't fight him because the more I fight him, the more it eggs them on, and now it could become a group activity. So instead, I'll come through, I'll do the same action. Find it with a small step back, turn. Now you see how that knee's there? Stomp the knee to the side. Break his knee. If he's busy screaming, his friends are going to look at him first. There's my opportunity to get away. The only good fight is the one that you evade. Win or lose the physical confrontation, you still lose, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally. You still get hurt. And the best way to avoid that injury is to not be there. There's that double lapel grab. The next one I want to go into is what we call breast push C. And in breast push C, like Nicholas Petter said, I'm going to give you a show, yeah? As Nicholas Petter said in the 18th century, I don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but in Amsterdam, almost every fight starts with a breast push. You got two guys at the bar, come this way a little bit, and yeah, what do you mean?
This is what I mean.
Right? So this is what's coming in. So what we're going to do, he goes in, go real slow. My first job is to get out of the way. Now at this point, go ahead. He's got hands right below each shoulder, which means he's shoving my shoulders back. As soon as I take a small step back into the outside, he's now at my sternum and my shoulder. So I've already taken half my body width out of his control. Go and do it again. Now I'm going to use like to like. So if he's using, this is again where I can choose which side I want to go. His buddy's here. So I want to send him that direction. So as he comes in, hold. I step back and find his forearm with my hand. I am not grabbing him. I'm just resting it on it. As he continues, I step back. This hand comes up underneath my arm. Let's scoot back. Now you'll notice I'm no longer in front of him. Go ahead and just keep going forward. I've already done a good defensive technique. Go ahead and walk into me. So there's that action. He's walking right into me. Go and do it again. Now he's walking into my shoulder. But if I do 1, 2, go ahead. I'm no longer in his way. Most often when these kinds of activities are happening, it's like a bull charging you. If you've got a bull charging you, your best defense, don't be there. So he comes to give me a push and just sends me rocking. So he does that again. Now, wrong one. So I come through and I find his neck with my thumb tucked on the back of my hand. So I'm striking him on the back of the neck here. This hand is still in contact. He's continuing by, and I'm just going one high, one low, and I can send him where I want. Let's do it again from right here.
Right here.
So he comes in. Let's go ahead and switch. Let's do it again. I'm gonna go, I don't need to switch sides.
No.
So he comes through. I get out of the way. That gives me this. Now, by lifting my hand here, thumb up, you can see how his shoulder is rolling. Here now his shoulder is hidden by his body, but as soon as I do that, and I'm not lifting up, I'm just going to here. There's a slight bend in my arm, like that. So that when I'm here, if he slides down my arm, he hits my elbow. He doesn't go any higher. If I do this with my arm straight, he now takes me with him because I've given him a ramp to my neck. Go ahead and grab my neck. Okay, so back up a little bit. All right, go ahead. Now it's this kind of fight. And this could be bad for either one of us. I'd say right now he has the advantage because he's got the momentum and the mass going through me. Same thing.
Okay.
Now he's locking on my deltoid, which means now I just look at what time it is. What time is it? Oh, it's time to beat your face into the ground. Because you should know when it's time to do that and when it's not time to do that. So, you know, good? Good. Let's go and do it one more time.
Come over here just a little bit more. Good.
And there I'm just throwing him down. If this is one of those instances where I need to make sure he's not going to get back up and continue the fight, don't kill the guy. You're going to go to jail. Don't do that. Anything that says you're going to hit him here to kill him, stay away. Don't do those. This schmuck is not worth me going to prison. So he comes at me, and I set that aside. Now, as I'm pushing him down, go down with me. I'm going to follow him, and as he's going down, I'm going to push his head to the ground, but I'm going to look at my watch and not let my hand go down. Now, I've just dislocated his shoulder and possibly broken his elbow. I will guarantee you, if you do that to somebody's arm, they are no longer thinking about you. So, and even if they are, they can't use their arm other than beat you like a wet noodle. So you don't need to worry about it that much.
Doing that hurts.
Hitting them with a wet noodle?
No, hitting them with a broken arm.
Yeah, it hurts you.
Yeah.
So let's do it again. I'm going to go to this arm this time.
Okay.
So he attacks. I step out of the way. There's that strike. I push him down. I turn and I look at my watch. Now, we were playing around with this the other day, and I'm going to do that, okay?
All right.
And it was a complete fluke, but it worked really well, and it's kind of funny. So he comes at me, and I set that aside, and I push him over, right? No, you were throwing a secondary. It was a secondary punch.
Yeah, this was off of Lapel Grab, actually.
Yeah.
She rolled into it from into
so
C.
Go ahead and grab that. So we got this. So I come through, I do this. He throws that punch. I come across. I transfer. Oh, that's not what I did, but that'll work as well. Then you just kind of snuff him with his own hands. There's lots of things you can do. But the key to remember with this is don't try to force an action, all right?
Yeah, my arm hairs are pokey.
Don't try to force an action. Where do I go? Where do you go in a fight?
Where you're facing.
Yes, but if you and I are engaged, where am I going to go?
Where you can, wherever you want.
No, I'm going to go where he suggests I go.
Yes.
Because if I'm trying to force it, so he's here, go back up, and I want to get here. I'm now fighting against him, and if I'm fighting against him, I've given him an option. But he's here, and at this point, he throws his punch. So I go this way. Now I'm where I want to be, but that could be just a jab to throw that backhand. Go back to it again. And there's that blow again. Now we end up in, every martial art has this. I first learned it in Achille Marozzo's manuscript, Presson #1. Does amazing. It's in every martial art. But what I would like to revisit just for the end of this video, don't train falsely. You want to make sure that your training is true. There's a great Jim Carrey skit about learning self-defense against a knife, where he gives a woman a knife and stab me. And he stabs her. No, you stabbed me wrong. You need to stab me like this.
Oh.
And so she stabs him like that. And says, no, you're doing it all wrong. You need to stab me like this, because this is the way we've always trained. No attack comes like that. And because we know that no attack comes like that, don't train like that. You have to train with full intention, but you do not need to train with full speed. Can I punch you?
Sure.
So I'm going to go with a cross.
Okay.
So I come through and I hit. Was that a legitimate punch?
That is a legit punch.
All right. I don't need to go hard and fast, because if I do it hard and fast, it still gets in there. But that's going to be dangerous for my partner and me, because if I hit wrong, I just busted my knuckles. Right? For me, if I'm training this kind of blow, my target is just underneath the jaw, because I want his brain to slosh around in brain juice. Those are technical terms. So, with that, I want to thank you for joining us today. We've looked at two techniques: the double lapel grab, which can be used in multiple situations, up high, lapels of the shirt, or breasts on a woman or a guy. We also looked at a little bit, just touched on training methodology. This is the way we train at Davenport European Martial Arts School. It's not about going fast. It's not about going hard. It's about going honestly. Train honestly, and that will help you. And then we looked at breast push C, which is used to just throw your opponent to the ground. With that, I'd like to thank you again for joining us. I hope you all have a wonderful day, wonderful afternoon. Stay safe, stay sane, and until we're able to get together, I wish you and yours the best, and I'll see you on the other side of this. Thank you for joining us. Take care. Boom. Fantastic. How you doing? Your arm okay?
Good.